Welcome to my Life in the UK test study series. I have to study for the Life in the UK test and figured the best way I learn is by teaching, especially as I'll probably have to re-record everything many times before I'm happy with it. So here we go with the first lesson on early Britain. As the Ice Age ended around 8,000 years ago, rising sea levels gradually separated Britain from mainland Europe. The first people who lived here were hunter-gatherers, moving with the seasons to find food. A few thousand years later, early farmers arrived from the continent. They began to clear land and grow crops. These early societies left behind impressive monuments. For example, Stonehenge, with its massive stones aligned to the sun, was likely a sacred site for seasonal ceremonies. Far to the north, at Skara Brae in Orkney, Scotland, we find one of the best preserved prehistoric villages in Europe, giving us a vivid picture of daily Stone Age life. Around 4,000 years ago, metalworking transformed life in Britain. People learned to mix copper and tin to make bronze, creating tools, weapons, and intricate ornaments. This new technology allowed for greater social organization and trade. Skilled craftsmanship began to flourish, and these communities left behind striking artifacts, including beautiful gold and bronze jewelry, showing the beginnings of a more complex society. Around 800 BC, ironworking technology spread into Britain, marking the start of the Iron Age here. Life changed drastically. Iron tools were stronger and more durable, revolutionizing farming and warfare. People lived in roundhouses and began to form larger communities, often on fortified hilltops like Maiden Castle in Dorset. They farmed, traded, and crafted items for daily life. During this time, the tribal people of the British Iron Age are often referred to as Celts. They were not a single nation, but many different tribes who shared language and cultural traditions. This period saw the development of the Celtic cultures. Their languages still live on today in Welsh, Scottish Gaelic, and Irish. These people had a rich oral tradition, and their tribal kingdoms laid early foundations for Britain's regional identities. In 55 BC, Julius Caesar attempted to invade Britain, but he did not succeed. Britain remained independent from Rome for nearly a century. Then, in AD 43, Emperor Claudius launched a more organized invasion. Roman forces managed to occupy much of Britain, although not without resistance. One of the most famous rebels was Boudica, queen of the Iceni tribe in the east. She led a fierce revolt against Roman rule. There's now a statue of her near Westminster Bridge in London, symbolizing her defiance. Although they never fully conquered Scotland, the Romans built strong borders. Emperor Hadrian ordered a massive wall to be built across northern England to defend Roman Britain from northern tribes like the Picts. Today, Hadrian's Wall still stands as one of the most impressive Roman ruins in Britain, with forts like Husestadt and Vindolanda, I may be mispronouncing these, offering a glimpse into Roman military life. The Romans stayed for nearly 400 years. They built roads, towns, and public buildings, introduced new laws, and even changed the natural environment by bringing new plants and animals from across the empire. Romans believed in many gods: Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Neptune, each with specific powers, and worship was closely linked to being a good citizen. Christianity offered something new, a message of hope, eternal life, and equality before God, ideas that appealed especially to slaves, the poor, and those excluded from Roman society. Unlike traditional Roman religion, which was mainly about rituals and social duty, Christianity offered personal meaning and a sense of community. The Roman Empire actually helped Christianity spread. Thanks to its well-built roads, trade networks, and shared languages, missionaries were able to travel widely and preach across provinces. Over time, more people adopted the faith, and by AD 380, Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire, reaching Britain as part of that transformation. In AD 410, the Roman legions left Britain to defend other parts of the empire, and they never returned. This left Britain vulnerable to invasions from northern European tribes like the Jutes, Angles, and Saxons. After years of conflict, They established several kingdoms by around AD 600. These invaders spoke Germanic languages that formed the roots of English. Early Christian missionaries traveled across Britain, Ireland, and Scotland to spread the Christian faith during the 5th and 6th centuries. Saint Patrick is one of the most famous missionaries, credited with spreading Christianity across Ireland. He's often referred to as the Apostle of Ireland. Another important figure was Augustine of Canterbury, a Christian monk who became the first Archbishop of Canterbury in 597 AD. He is known as the Apostle to the English, having played a key role in converting the Anglo-Saxons to Christianity. Saint Columba, another important missionary, founded a monastery on the island of Iona in 563 AD. His monastery became a significant center for the spread of Christianity and Celtic learning. Iona attracted pilgrims and helped establish Scottish Christianity during its early stages. These figures and their monasteries helped establish Christianity as a dominant faith in the British Isles and created enduring centers of learning, faith, and culture. In AD 789, seafarers from Denmark and Norway, the Vikings, began raiding and settling in parts of Britain. They created communities mainly in the east and north, especially in an area called the Danelaw. King Alfred the Great eventually united the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms and defeated the Viking armies in the south. However, many Vikings remained and integrated with the local populations, leaving a lasting cultural impact. A significant figure in the Viking Age was the Danish king of England, Knut, who reigned from 1016 to 1035. In 1066, England faced its last successful invasion. William, Duke of Normandy in modern-day France, defeated King Harold at the Battle of Hastings and became King of England. He is known to history as William the Conqueror. The story is famously told in the Bayeux Tapestry. The Normans brought many changes. They reshaped the legal and social structure, and their version of French heavily influenced the English language. William also commissioned the Domesday Book, a vast survey listing every town, landowner, and even farm animal to better understand and tax the kingdom. This brings me to the end of the first lesson. Here you have an overview of what was covered, and in the notes below I'm going to put some links for extra resources I've created like Quizlets and Kahoots. Good luck!